The best kept secret in e-commerce is email marketing because one, it helps you improve your conversion rate, but two, it will also help you drive lifetime value of your site, ultimately make your business more profitable. This will help you scale on the front end with your Facebook ads, and then also use the profits to reinvest back into inventory, drive new product innovation, or invest in more inventory for your business. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a phone accessories business that came to us in April of 2024. Just 4 months later, we added over €1 million to their business with email marketing. And in this video, I'm going to break down the entire strategy of everything that we did and the thought process behind why we did it. Let's get straight into it. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Jordan and I'm the founder of OHM. We're a retention marketing agency that's driven over $100 million for close to 200 brands that we've worked with, and that's across email, SMS, and direct mail. So the business that I'm going to be talking about in today's video is Dutchies, and they are a phone, case, and accessories business based out of the Netherlands. So they were a fairly new business when they came to us. They've been running for just over a year. Still a small team, a founder and a couple of other employees in the business, and they had a great product and they got traction organically and via Facebook ads. But on the email side, they didn't have anything in place, and they were struggling to scale their Facebook ad spend because it was starting to become less and less profitable. So they came to us from one of our referral partners, which is a media buying agency that was taking care of all their ads and creative. And that's testament to the quality of our work because we've worked with them on quite a few brands before and they know just how good we are. So before working with us, they really haven't done much with email. I think around 5% of overall online sales were coming from the channel. There was nothing coming from SMS or direct mail. So our goal was to build out a retention program and get it live very quickly. Initially, we just wanted to convert more of their site traffic and drive revenue with the program. And then over time, we could start to add on some of the more bells and whistles and really build brand equity with the channel and maybe add on SMS too. So the first thing we do as soon as we start work with any brand after they've paid the invoice and signed the contract is we have a very thorough onboarding process. So we will send the client an onboarding form. That should take them 15 to 20 minutes to fill out, and it's just to get us up to speed on the brand. So it's sharing assets, tone of voice, and who they're trying to sell to, their demographics, and the type of messaging that resonates well with people, but also giving us insight into where they want to go, what's their brand vision, and who their competitors are so that we can take a look at all of that stuff too. Typically, a few days after that, we will revert internally, plan out our game plan and put together our roadmap, and then we will have a kickoff call with the client to run through that with them. We'll then start to go away and build out all of our assets, and while we're doing that, we'll also put together a branding kit for the new client. Now, this is something that we do with everyone now, and the goal here is to help us get up to speed on the brand, to minimize comments for sure from the client down the line, but really also to make sure that we're reflecting what the brand vision is and putting that out through our work to the audience. So our goal with that is to give people upfront design guidelines, templates, a custom GPT that's built on their highest converting content, and then a tone of voice deck as well. This is to make sure that we're aligned on all tone of voice and branding going forward and to really capture that brand essence. A couple of weeks after that, we will then have the first assets with the clients. So that will be the first key flows and then the first batch of monthly campaigns. So there's a lot to do in that first couple of week period, but once that's taken care of, we can get things up and running pretty quickly and we will start to drive revenue. And the goal is within that first month, our fee is ROI positive, which means that we're driving profit in excess of our fee within the first month of working together, so that by the time the brand gets the second invoice, they're already making money from our services, which is insane ROI and not seen by any of our competitors that offer similar products and services. So once the onboarding was complete, I split the work that we did for these guys out into 3 separate phases, and I'm going to run through each one of them now with you. So phase 1. The goal here is to get work live as quickly as possible and to start converting more of the website traffic that the brand is driving from Facebook ads, from organic content, and from PR and any other traffic sources that they are pushing to their site. We want to capture as much as that non-purchasing website traffic as possible and then try to convert it on the back end. So the focus here on the front end is in implementing a pop-up. The goal with this is to grow the email list. So prior to us coming on board, these guys only had a list of past purchasers. Now we want to be targeting people that aren't purchasing right off the bat, collecting their information and then following up with them on the back end. So we use a form that's fairly simple, just like this one. And the goal with this is, yes, we want the conversion rate of this form to be as high as possible, but we also want to minimize the impact on profitability as much as possible too. So we're trying to balance those two variables. And for these guys, we saw a conversion rate after testing a number of different offers, different designs, different call to action buttons of close to 10%, which is pretty good. Now you'll also notice something else about this pop-up. It's not actually written in English. Now for Dutchies, as the name suggests, they are a Dutch-based brand. So the initial content that we created for them was in the Dutch language. So we have the capability to do that in our team. So we've now started to grow our list. The next thing we want to do is to improve the conversion rate of our site by focusing on getting more first-time purchasers to buy from the business right off the bat. So with that said, the next step in our process is on getting live the pre-purchase flows as quickly as possible. So you can see a couple of emails from these on the screen in front of you now. And just to summarize, the key flows that we're focused on here are the welcome flow, which is on people that have signed up on the welcome form, getting them to convert, getting to use that offer, introducing them to the business, and then getting them to take action as quickly as possible. Then we have a site and a browse flow. Now, these are two separate flows that are focused on converting website traffic that's just looking at the site, looking at a few products. We want to focus on getting them to buy. This is kind of an in-between stage, they're not further down the funnel like a abandoned cart flow, where they're pretty close to taking action. They still need more education, kind of like the welcome flow, where we need to tell them more about the business, give them social proof, show them some branding, show them how they can use this product. Maybe it's style guides, what other accessories they can wear this with. And then, as I said, we have the abandoned cart flow. So this is for people that are adding product to cart, just about to check out. We want to give them a little something extra just to get them over the line. So that's the initial focus, is on building those pre-purchase flows. And then on the back end, once we've got those flows live, we also want to be sending campaigns. Now, prior to starting work with us, Dutchies had done this every so often, but really that had been focused only around promotions and big holiday seasons. So the focus on the campaign side is on driving consistent revenue for the business without using promotions. So we want to be sending out content. You can see the email here on the right talking about best-selling products and the founder story. That's what we want to kind of focus on, rather than using hey, it's Friday, you get 20% off. Yes, it will work to drive cash in the short run, but ultimately all you're going to do is cheapen your brand and only be able to drive revenue for your email list by sending out promotions, because you're conditioning people to expect that. So you want to avoid the promotions and build out a content-based calendar. And for these guys, we're sending 2 to 3 emails per week at this point. So then we come on to phase 2. So the first point I want to note here is that the business then went through a process of international expansion. So they started selling into other markets like Belgium, France, Germany, and the UK. And because of that, we then had to start rolling out our content into multiple languages. So I believe it was English, French, and German, as well as the kind of native Dutch that we are now using. So all the flows are then triggered off of geolocations, and all of the campaigns are also sent in multiple different languages. So it added extra work for our team, but the strategy is pretty similar across all of those jurisdictions. It's just not actually that hard to do. And if this is something that's relevant for your business, you have people in multiple geographies buying from your brand, I would note that it's pretty important, and it will drive improved conversion rates if you can speak to people in their native language. And there's an added bonus here: if you can stay on top of the latest kind of cultural trends and news and speak to people in the culture that they're used to, you'll see an even greater uplift too. So aside from that, the business was also rolling out new SKUs and new product categories on their site, and we're focused on pushing that as part of our email sequences. I have done separate videos on this channel about how to structure a drop. It's not just send one campaign, it's warming up your list, teasing and giving early access to VIPs, then going to wider engaged audiences, following up with people across multiple channels, having multiple touch points with them. And this was key to their success. So you can see some of these campaigns on the screen there. The business launched a men's division. They had a number of different gift sets and different product categories that were coming out as well. And we're focused on driving revenue with those different types of content campaigns. At this point as well, we're also focused on the back end. So in phase 1, we're just focused on how do we increase conversion rate of first-time visitors to the site and first-time purchasers. How do we get that up? Now, during phase 2, we're focusing on repeat buyers. So how do we get people to come back? Maybe it's a lady and she's bought a phone accessory for herself. Can she get her husband, her partner, a phone case as well? That's what we're focused on here. So yes, we're building out flows that are focused on, upsells, post-purchase follow-ups. win-back sequences and stuff like that. But then also on the campaign side, we're segmenting out, people that have purchased before, VIP customers that have purchased multiple times, and following up with them with relevant content and relevant products that they might be interested in. So at this point, we've completed phase 2, and email is now consistently driving 30 to 45% of total online sales on a monthly basis, which is pretty insane considering where we started with. And this is, month 2, month 3 of working with this business. And that brings us on to phase 3 here. And this is really a consolidation phase. So we have our key flows live. We're regularly sending campaigns. We've helped the business, with promotions, with new product drops, and in branching out to different countries and different geographies. We have a robust content system in place. And now we just need to optimize and improve what we're doing. So we're starting to roll out A/B tests, different subject lines, different time delays between flow messages. We're sending cart sequences split out by the value of the cart in each one. And then on the back end as well, we're focused on building brand equity. So the goal here is to improve the designs of our emails. And we actually went back at this point and rolled out improved designs for all of our flows and obviously all future campaigns. The goal was to go more mobile optimized, to go single purpose focus per campaign, and really just focus on getting the click-through rate up in all of our emails, because ultimately, more engagement, more clicks means more revenue on site, and that's what we're doing on the back end. So at this point, we have been working for the business for around 4 or 5 months, and we have added over €1 million to their business via email marketing. We've also started to introduce SMS, and we are consistently driving 35 to 40% of brand revenue via retention channels. There's also a whole load of other uplift that this business can implement, like loyalty programs, referral schemes, and so on and so forth. I also think personally that direct mail will crush for these guys, but we're off to a pretty good start. We've added 7 figures to their business in just a few months of working together. And that brings me to the end of today's video. So if you'd like us to do something similar for your business, or you'd just like to have a strategy call and see what we would propose implementing for your brand on the retention side, please check out the description box below this video. There should be a link in there where you can book in some time to speak with me or a member of the team, and we can have a chat and see what we can do for you. Scaling an e-com brand is hard. That's why we're on a mission to share as much info as we can to help make it easy. From weekly interviews with the biggest names in the space, to case studies, brand breakdowns, and tips and tricks, and much, much more. Subscribe so you don't miss out.